Hey YouTubers and Karma members, it's Jimmy, and I just wanted to jump on here. It's been a while since we've posted anything to our YouTube channel, so I just wanted to fill you, our subscribers and viewers, in on some things that have gone on in these last few months here in Uvalde. The 1 year anniversary of May 24th has come and gone. The media and the press, for the most part, are all gone from Uvalde already. And as everyone, the nation, the state, and the world move on, there is still lots of work for us to do here in Uvalde. We have been fighting still for transparency, for accountability, for answers, for making sure that the schools are secured now. Still fighting for the families that lost children and parents on May 24th, and for the survivors that survived that fateful day. But one of the things that I wanted to talk about was Karma founder Adam Martinez, back in February, if you remember, was banned from the school board meetings and UCISD properties for 2 years. And what caused his CTW and ultimately him being banned was that at that school board meeting, newly hired Chief of Police Joshua Gutierrez hired a new officer, Pedro Huizar, who was deemed non-rehirable by the county sheriff here in Uvalde. So at that meeting, Adam, approached Chief Gutierrez and asked him why they felt that Pedro Huizar was hireable when the county sheriff deemed him non-rehirable. So something must have happened for the county to deem him non-rehirable. Now, Gary Patterson, the superintendent, and the school board have said that they're only going to hire the best police officers for the Uvalde School Police. Well, when you hire someone who's deemed non-rehirable, is that really hiring the best? So Adam, as a concerned parent and a concerned citizen, simply asked this question. The next day, he was issued a CTW and was banned for 2 years from meetings and the campuses. The norm has always been for minorities that if we get in trouble, let's be on our best behavior, let's follow the rules, and in Adam's case, in 2 years, when they review his CTW, if he has followed the rules to their liking, they might decide to lift his ban. Well, Adam did not sit back because wrong was done to him. He simply asked a question, a legitimate question, when you're telling us that you're only gonna hire the best, but then you hire people that are deemed non-rehirable. And he got a lawyer, and they ended up filing a lawsuit against the school district for his violation of his First Amendment rights, infringing on his freedom of speech. And again, the norm would be just sit back, Adam, take your punishment, be good, do what they tell you, and in 2 years they're gonna lift it. Well, we're not in those times no more. And for years we've been told that. And 2 weeks ago, the school district lifted Adam Martinez's ban, allowing him to attend the school board meetings and any functions at any UCISD campus. So this was a very huge victory for Adam personally and for his family, but it was also a very huge victory for the Latino community and minorities who for years have been silenced for asking questions, for demanding answers. And so Adam opened doors that there are people out there who are afraid to speak, who are afraid to ask questions, and even here in Uvalde who are afraid to attend these meetings and ask questions. And him fighting the school board and getting a lawyer and saying, no, you had no reason to ban me. I simply asked the question, you infringed on my First Amendment right to my freedom of speech. And he fought it and he won. And like I said, he opened these doors, and it's a huge victory. And I personally see it as a huge victory for the Latino community and for minorities of, beyond, that we no longer have to be silent. We no longer have to follow the norm that for years have been told, just do what they're telling you and you'll be okay. And when it's time to revisit whatever you got in trouble for, if you're good, they're gonna do good and lift it or take whatever punishment was on you. And we no longer have to be those people. And so I just want to say congratulations to Adam, and to personally to him and to his family, but congratulations for opening doors for us that always thought, okay, well, we get in trouble, we're going to do what they tell us, and letting us know that no, we have a voice, and we need to use our voice because it is our right to use our voice, and it is our right to ask questions, especially here in Uvalde, where we have had the second deadliest school shooting in the United States. So of course questions are going to be asked, not only from Adam. There's been other activists that have spoken up and demanded answers and stuff. Adam, I think was just the guinea pig for the school district, that you've been very outspoken and at times you've been critical of us, and so we're going to use you as an example and say, no, if you're going to talk bad about us or question our decisions, this is what's going to happen to you. Now, also 2 weeks ago when the school lifted it, they said it was a frivolous lawsuit. It was going to be a waste of time and of taxpayers' money. Well, infringing on someone's First Amendment right isn't a waste of time. It's the same way that when, we're fighting for gun reform and common sense gun laws, that people say you can't infringe on our Second Amendment right, well, you can't infringe on our First Amendment right to freedom of speech. And so again, congratulations to Adam on his huge victory and opening doors for us. I also want to quickly talk about also Mariano Vargas, former lieutenant for the Uvalde Police Department. He was the acting chief of police on May 24th, 2022. He had a hearing scheduled next week in Austin. He resigned last year before he was able to be fired by the police department, and the police department or the city gave him a dishonorable discharge. He had a hearing next week in Austin to fight it to be honorably discharged. Now, Mariano Vargas, if we've all seen the videos and we remember, was on the phone with dispatch, and dispatch was letting him know that there were about 8 survivors in the room who were calling saying that their friends were bleeding out, their teachers were dying, and to please send help. Granted, there were almost 400 cops outside those 2 rooms, and they chose to do nothing. But Mariano Vargas never relayed that information to the almost 400 law enforcement officers that were there. Instead, he decided to walk outside and do nothing. Now, it's scary because if the people up in Austin do grant him this honorable discharge, he can work in any police department he wants. And it's scary for whatever community he goes, because that if that happened in a different community, and the people need to be aware, if he's granted this honorable discharge, should a shooting happen in a school, in a mall, in a church, in a restaurant, very well he will not go in to try to save lives in there. And so the families, it's been postponed, but the families are asking. He sits on the county commissioner's court. He was voted in by people, even though they knew what he did on that day, they still decided to vote him in. So it kind of shows you where some of our community members stand, and basically admit, that they don't care that he did this because they're still voting him in. But the families are asking that if you can attend these county commissioner court meetings, they're held on every other Monday of the month, that we show up and we let Mariano Vargas know that, no, we haven't moved on. We remember what you did. We remember the cowardly way that you acted that day. And you do not deserve to be honorably discharged for walking away when survivors were calling you that people are dying in their rooms. And so that's where we're at right now. Just a quick brief of what's going on. I do have some videos that I'll upload soon. One of them is Adam Martinez speaking this past Monday at his first school board meeting in 4 months. So we look forward to continuing to share what's going on here in Uvalde, now that every major media and press is gone. Please remember that there is still a fight here in Uvalde, and because you don't see it every day on the news now, it doesn't mean that everything is the same. Nothing will be the same in our town, and we will continue fighting for the families, for the survivors, for accountability, for transparency, and for the safety of schools and our community. We look forward to keeping in touch with y'all. Thank you.